Alright, welcome to Lesson 5 of Advanced Google SketchUp. In this lesson, we are going to continue the practical tool idea by making a nice right angle with measurements on it so we can read it in inches. So, first thing we're going to have to do is build out a square. Well, actually, a rectangle. So again, we just drag our rectangle out. You can see at the bottom it says 9 feet by 3 feet. Again, we can't have it that long. So let's say we want to build something within the constraints of our 3D printer, so we need to know which 3D printer we're going to use. But for the most part, most 3D printers have a print bed of about 9 inches by 9 inches. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. This one, let's go ahead, we're going to turn it into 1 inch by, let's say 7 inches. Again, it looks tiny, just like it always does, but we use our zoom extents, just like before. And let's take a look at that. Now we have a nice kind of lengthened ruler here, or a nice flat plane. Remember, we're going to have to make that a little taller. It can't just be at that 0 level. So again, let's just zoom out here. Let's see, it's 7 inches. And I'm just going to raise it just a tiny little bit. An 1/8 is good. You can make it a little less by 1/16 maybe. And we're going to have to go in and start adding different numbers. So what we can do is we'll take our ruler and we're going to start from this midpoint here. Let's go all the way. We're going to start from the back. So that's 7 inches, so let's find what, 6 inches? Oops. So we can fix that just by typing 6 inches. Let's get another one. We'll make that 5 inches. And again, all I'm doing is I'm clicking here, dragging out, and then typing what I need in there. 4 inches. 3 inches. 2 inches. Gotta fix that one. And we'll go 1 inch. Now if you feel so inclined, you could actually go in and put in the half inches. And maybe we'll come back and do that later. But for now, let's just go ahead and rotate over. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then I'm going to use my pan tool, that hand tool, just so we can see what we're looking at here. So cool. This is what we have going on so far. And we just have those lines marking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 inches. Remember, this is 0. This is going to be 7 right there. So what we'll have to do is we need to go in and make little lines. It is up to you how you want to do this. But let's go. I'm going to go Control Z. Oops. Control Y. And I'm going to zoom in on each individual one. So let's go ahead, we'll start over here. I'm going to go down here, and let's add just a small little box here. I want to try and keep it as close to this line as possible. So I'm going to go here. Maybe I want... that might be too much. Maybe something like that. And you can always use, if you don't like how far away it is, you can always use your line tool and just redraw it a little bit. Nothing wrong with doing that there. Okay. So what we're going to have to first do is choose if we want to raise this line or lower the line. Personally, I like to raise lines. It's a little easier to work with. I'm going to make it 1/16 inches tall. And then down here, what we're going to have to do for each part of this ruler is add the number. So I'm going to click on my number. I'm going to click here. And you can see that I get this 3D text has popped up. So I'm going to type in 6 inches like that. It's going to ask me the height of it. The height, I'm going to only make it 1/2 inch. By We'll just say a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch. And place. So that's looking a little too big, and that's okay, we can fix it, but we need to rotate it first. So with my move tool, I'm going to click on that red portion. I'm going to actually have to zoom out a little bit. You can see that's still very large for our purposes. But again, we can fix that. Not an issue. So let's go ahead and size that down. We're just going to use our scale tool, found right there. And we're going to size it down into something a little more easy to use. So we click there, and let's place it right there. So now we know that that denotes 6 inches. We're going to do the same thing for each of these lines. So you can go ahead, pause the video, and do that. And I'm going to just go ahead and pause mine, and I'm going to work on that, complete it, and then you can pick up there. One thing you might want to also consider is how your words are spaced. Do you want them higher or lower? Again, you can use that scale tool and just click on the center, and you can actually drag it down to the same height. That's how I'm going to make mine, just because, you know, it looks a little nicer that way. Alright, so go ahead and pause the video and pick it back up when you've finished with there. Okay, so I just finished mine, and hopefully you've finished yours. Again, I just want you to know it doesn't have to necessarily look super pretty. If you would like to make it be perfectly precise, that is totally up to you. But for now, this kind of does the job for us. Again, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see they're varying sizes, but they'll all print correctly. I do have them all set to the same height, which is great. That guy, I'm going to fix right there. He accidentally jumped up on me. But see, I mean, for the most part, fairly easy to do. So we're going to add a second portion to this. So we already have this guy here, which is 7 inches, 1 inch across, right? And we need to turn this into like a right angle. So then we can make nice right angles, maybe make triangles, or measure stuff that way. So all I'm going to do, same exact thing, I'm just taking my pencil tool, I'm going to connect it there, and you know what? Maybe I'll actually take my box here, and I'll measure it out to whatever one inch would be about right there. So I can either go there, or maybe I can make it 1/2 inch. I'm going to go with 1/2 inch because that's going to look a little nicer, a little easier to print. So I have that, and all I did was I just had that line there. Now I'm just going to extend this guy out just a bit, like that. So now you can see I have a nice right angle. What I could do if I felt so inclined was write 90, and actually I think I will do that because it's a good idea. So I'm going to do 90, and then the degree symbol. I'm just going to click around till I find it, which I might not ever find it, and that's okay. So instead, I'm going to do 90 degrees. Look at that, an entire workaround. Click place, and I'm going to place it right there. Now, I'm not going to shrink it down, like squash it, but I am going to use my scale tool here, and I'm just going to make it the same height as that. Just makes it easier for everything else, just when handling this and working with it. So you can see I have 90 degrees there, and if I wanted to, a good thing to do, because you know, it always helps, I'm going to write down here, I'm going to do 1 inch. I'm going to click place. I'm going to put that right along the edge there. Again, same thing. I'm just going to use my scale tool. I'm going to make it the same height as that. And then maybe I want to make little boxes that signify that this is 1 inch by 1 inch. So I can do that. I'll raise my boxes up here. Raise the boxes to that height. Just for nice symmetry purposes, I'm going to make sure that this side is equivalent to that side. And then maybe I'm going to draw a nice little box that goes through it. Control-Z. Better yet, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So now I have And feel free to make your own design changes as you see fit, however you'd like it to be. But if I zoom out, I'm going to erase all of these lines here, those lines here. I have just made myself a nice ruler that is also a 90-degree right angle. Look at that. That's pretty cool. One of the things you could also do, just to make it easier, you could flip these so you were reading 1 as if it was straight up here, 2, 3, and so on. Or you can leave it as it is. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below the video or feel free to contact me at wvan@emmanuelstcharles.net. And as always, thanks for watching.